Was an emotionally charged sentencing hearing in a Lancaster courtroom just a short while ago, the victim's family delivering victim impact witness statements. When it was all said and done, the judge threw the book at the former Power Ranger star.
Everyone that looks at Ricardo from now on will never see him as a celebrity, but as nothing more than a cold-blooded killer.
Donald Sutter joining other family members during witness impact statements facing their loved one's killer in court, 38-year-old Ricardo Medina.
Now, if you don't remember, they arrested him early, and I got the interrogation that we're about to listen to, but he was free for a year, and I think until the family did like their own autopsy or something, and the guy had no defensive wounds. It was something about the wounds.
The former TV star of the Power Rangers superhero series in court, facing his fate in a sentencing hearing. In a plea deal, Medina has admitted to stabbing to death Joshua Sutter 2 years ago, the deal reducing the charges from murder to voluntary manslaughter, a sentence carrying a maximum 6-year prison sentence. Sutter pleading with the judge to show Medina no mercy.
That you, Judge, will put this killer into general population so that he will see and feel the same fear that Joshua must have felt.
He chose to kill my brother instead of the many options that all rational people would have taken. He chose to kill, to take a life.
With that, the judge sentenced Medina to the maximum sentence. Medina and his roommate Joshua Sutter getting into a confrontation in their Green Valley home in 2015. Medina stabbing Sutter nearly a dozen times. The former Power Ranger star claiming he delivered the fatal wounds after Sutter attacked him. Medina's attorney saying 6 years in prison on the lesser charge is a far cry from what he would have faced if he had endured a lengthy murder trial and possibly been convicted.
It's a very sad set of circumstances, but given that our client was charged with first-degree murder, which in this case would possibly result in a sentence of 26 years to life, Mr. Medina, after reviewing the facts and in consultation with counsel and with the district attorney's office, decided to accept the offer presented to him.
It's a punishment the victim's family is not at all happy about.
He deserves, well, the rest of his life in general population is where he deserves to be.
All right, so that's the family talking about it. But now, like I said, I did legally obtain this recording from the Los Angeles State, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. It did cost me $12.36. It's publicly available. Anyone can obtain it, but guys, it took me like 6 months. So without further ado, let's play part 1 of this 50-minute interrogation.
Detective bullshit and Detective.
Now, I know Ricardo Medina is free and he's out there, and I would love to interview him for the channel. If anyone knows his contact information, please reach out to me so we can get that interview going.
Detective Boston. Make sure you have the right here.
Now, here's the thing, guys. The guy doing the microphone, he's doing way too much, but I have no control over that.
You have the right to remain silent, you understand? Yes, you do? Yes. Okay, anything you say may be using it during court, do you understand that? Yes. You have the right to an attorney during questioning, do you understand that? Yes. You can count on a foreign attorney, one will be appointed for you before any question, do you understand that?
Wait a dozen times, man. Man, he should have been in there longer. The system fails once again. I don't know. Let's hear his recollection of the events. Now, you're not going to get his whole story today. You're going to get the first part because, like I said, it's 50 minutes of interrogation, and I believe it is.
How long have you been over here?
54 pages of documents. Okay.
In the jail, yeah. Hours. A couple hours. No, more than that. Yeah. Where were you before that? I was in my home. Your home. Share. Green Valley. In Green Valley. You know the address there? Yeah. That's where the deputies contacted you? I'm sorry. That's where the deputies contacted you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And can you just tell us what happened there?
Yes.
Right up to...
Yes. My girlfriend comes over. I've only known this man for a few months since he got literally dumped on my home. Long story short, he has made numerous comments over the last few months he's lived there where she comes over that she's not supposed to be here. She's basically he was either jealous or just bitter about me having love.
Damn. Now look, here's the thing, right? When you talking to people and you say, hey, maybe he was bitter, maybe he was jealous of me finding love. I mean, that's his opinion per se. You really can't prove that, but you can say, hey, he would make, snide comments anytime she would come over. But you remember, he has just murked this guy. He has murked him, rung the bell on him, and now he's getting interrogated.
Having someone who loves me. And every time he would always make comments whenever she would come over, like, she shouldn't be here, she's not supposed to be here. So today, when she comes over, my girlfriend goes right, and she brought me food, like sometimes. So we go right into my room. When my girlfriend got to the property, he made a comment to me telling me that my child is here. Child, because maybe the age difference. So my child's here. He does that a lot. And he said she's been honking her horn for 20 minutes. So I would go outside, I greet her, I ask her, how long have you been here? She's like, just got here right now. I'm like, okay. He drinks a lot. So I knew with him drinking, coming back. So I told her, I'm going to just go back to my room. So we went right into my room. I put her Pollo Loco food that she brought me on my counter in my room. Then I proceeded to go into the kitchen where he was to grab some table settings, paper plates, stuff like this.
Dude, I have no idea what this guy is doing with the microphone. It should just be on the table, but I don't know how they recorded this because it was sent to me on a goddamn DVD.
And he's going off on me, telling me that she does not need to be here, that he doesn't like her. And I asked him, what's your problem? Why do you have a problem with my girl? What did she ever do to you? She only comes maybe once or twice a month. She stays to herself. What did she do to you? And that's what I wanted, that's the only thing that I said to him. And he's over here saying things like, that, this is a place of business, that she's not supposed to be here, Rick. You're not even supposed to be here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm on the lease. You're not supposed to be here. You're not on the lease. I can have anybody I want. You and I know who are sane people know that you're allowed to bring anybody to your home as you want. For some reason, he felt like he could just dictate me. He's bigger than me. I was always a little bit threatened by him because how he gets. We do dog rescue.
Damn. Okay, so it looks like this whole argument is over basically, according to Rick, his girlfriend attending. Okay? His girlfriend attended. Now, I think they're fiddling with it, and maybe it gets better towards the end. I'll be honest, I didn't listen to it all per se, but it is quite annoying.
So he would shoot the dogs with BB guns, little chihuahuas, grab them by the face, throw them across the room. He would literally abuse them. And I was gaining evidence with my digital camera while I was there filming this. So when I did leave, I could go ahead and report this, give this to investigators so they could go ahead and take over. But in the meantime, I have to save money so I can get out. So what happened was I'm in the kitchen. I'm telling him that, what's your problem? Like I just said, what has she ever done to you? He tells me he's going to go into the room and grab her by the hair and throw her out.
Okay. Now, remember, this guy is not here to tell it. And I have no evidence of the girlfriend. So they're getting into this dispute, per se, about his girlfriend coming over. And he's already making snide comments about the age gap. And he's saying he's jealous. It is what it is.
So I grab him. Him and me start to scuffle in the kitchen. It's all happening in the kitchen. My girlfriend is in the room. Don't know if the door's open. Don't know if the door's closed, but she's in the room. We're scuffling. Somehow during the scuffle, my girlfriend must have heard that we are fighting. We're rolling on the ground at this moment. I don't know when she came into the kitchen, but she yells a huge scream out. So I tell her, I go run into the room. I let go of him, and I immediately proceed and follow her back into my room. I close the door. Her and I are like, what the fuck just happened? She's telling me we need to get out of here. And exactly when she said that, he, don't know if he kicked it, like did this with it, but the door flew right open. And I've been so scared of this man for the last few months that.
All right, now he's hyping it up. Okay, so they getting into the fight. They got the altercation. He escaped. They run into the room, and the guy kicks the door open, according to him.
I hit a sword next to the door, next to my bed. And that's the sword that when, can I show you? I'm not going to leave, but this is how far I was. My back's to the door. This is how far I am from the door. My girlfriend's probably where this gentleman is, and we're talking standing, going, what just happened? She's telling me we need to get out of here. As soon as she says that, the door comes kicked open or flew open. My sword is standing right by the door. And as soon as I turn around, I just reacted. Mm-hmm. You know, and to be honest, like, it happened so fast. I got him.
So the door obviously swings in. It's.
All right, so you like, hopefully you guys are following it. I know the audio is not the best. So the door swings open, he grabs his knife and he pokes him. Now the cop is about to say, hey, tell me what happened again.
Swing, did it brush up against you? Did it hit you at all?
No. The door.
You were far enough away that it cleared?
Yeah, but I did. You know what? I think by this time, her and I are talking. She's like, we need to get out of here. And I think that the sword wasn't standing here. I'm more than likely sure that the sword was in my hand at this moment. Her and I, I was so afraid of him that something instinctively told me just to grab it as her and I are talking. Mm-hmm. And as soon as that happened, then that's how it went. The door opened.
So how much time do you think elapsed between the time the door opened and the time? You said you reacted. Did you stab him with the sword?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how much time do you think reacted between those?
You're asking me how many seconds went by from the time that the door opened to the time I actually stabbed him? A second.
Hey, real quick.
Damn. Door opens, he pokes him right away. No hesitation, no waiting, no seeing what's going on. Door swings open, gets poked. I'll run it back just in case you guys didn't hear it, because it's a reason why they're asking them. They want to see how much time passed before you just poked them.
You said you reacted. Did you stab him with the sword?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how much time do you think reacted between those?
You're asking me how many seconds went by from the time that the door opened to the time I actually stabbed him? A second.
Hey, real quick. So I'm Josh.
Her and I are talking.
Okay, boom, the door comes.
I believe the sword was in my right hand.
Are you right-handed?
No.
You're left-handed? Okay.
And I just believe it was in my, but I'm pretty ambidextrous though. Okay. But I believe it was in my right hand. And her and I are talking, saying, what the fuck just happened? She's telling me we need to get out of here. And as soon as she said out of here, that door flew open. Officers, I can't tell you.
Okay, so now I'm Josh. Now what do you do? So you just
it's a long sword. It's like Conan Barbarian. It's literally 3 feet long.
So you turn, and then at the same time you're turning, you make a stabbing motion with your right hand. And where do you hit him?
Officer, I want to say right here.
In the stomach?
One time. Yeah.
Okay.
It happened that fast. I dropped the sword. He stumbles back.
Now, this is a lot of ketchup on the place.
The hallway he stumbles back.
A lot of ketchup. Now, these are the pictures I didn't pay for. You really got to think Deadline or the Medium for it.
And he's just like, what did you do? I realized what I did.
All right. That was part one of this whole ordeal, but I do have a supplemental piece of information. This is like the narrative report when people get on the scene. of a little bit more context to what maybe the officers saw, because when I tell you this is like really involved with a lot of people, it really is. But what did you guys think of that audio so far? So this is a narrative report. I mean, I think you saw this, whatchamacallit? I think you saw this with JDF's passing. Okay. So what does it say? I responded to the indicated location regarding an assault with a deadly weapon just occurred. Call for service. Upon my arrival, I observed LA County Fire Department Engine 78 under the supervision of Captain rendering medical care to victim Sutter in what appeared to be the living room adjacent to the kitchen. Sutter was laying on his back with his head to the south and his legs north. Sutter was non-responsive to questions, but continued to moan aloud. So he had the death rattle. If you ever been around someone passing, they get the death rattle. It's very unfortunate, but if you've been to a hospice or had a loved one that was in hospice and you were there for their last moments, they call it the death rattle. But he continued to moan aloud. Sutter was transported by ambulance to the Henry Mayo Hospital for advanced care. After arriving at the hospital, he was pronounced dead by, Dr. John Claude at 17-18 hours. I notified Security Officer Rodriguez at the Homicide Bureau at 1800. Sergeant Ewing, along with the deputies, Gunner and Morris, responded to the location at 1944 hours to take control of the investigation. So there is a little bit more context, but when I get through the 50 minutes of audio and the 54 pages, we can go through it more. But so far, what do you guys think about Ricardo Medina's story? If you will, do you call it a story? Is it a story, or is it his recollection of events? I know it's a little late in the stream, but we'll get to more of it. Sorry, guys, I was a little late on the prep, but this is part 1 of the Ricardo Medina Jr. story. Now, if you're a member of the channel, I'm gonna make this available for you guys to watch as members. But subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Peace.